in order to understand the compensation plan, we've got to get a baseline of terminology in place in terms of what words we use really frequently when we discuss the compensation plan in our businesses in Young Living. We're going to go through just a few of those that I think are pretty key. Some of them you may already know, but some you may not know. So if you already know these, then just sit back, relax for a minute while we roll through some of these. PV, the kind of nerdy definition for PV that I like to say is it's the currency agnostic number used to communicate the commissionable value of any product in our catalog. And if that just sounded like a bunch of crazy talk to you, just think of PV as this number on every single product, and that number is constant in every market of Young Living. Now, the reason commissions are calculated on PV is because if you look at the actual amount you pay for a product, that number changes for every market that Young Living exists in. So PV gives us this currency agnostic or constant number that has nothing to do with a dollar or a pound or a yen. It's used for commission calculation. Now, because most people that I talk to are in the U.S., it's just often the case that the PV amount for a product is the same as the dollar amount. So we don't really focus a lot on understanding commissions from the PV point of view. But if you're in a different market, PVs, you really understand that because your checks are always based on PV. Commissions are always based on PV, not what you paid for something. The OGV, which is the organizational group volume, is just taking the PV of every person in your team and adding it all up. That gives you the total volume in your team, otherwise known as the OGV. And then we have the PGV. It's kind of the ugly stepchild of PV and OGV because it's often ignored, but it's actually super crucial.